Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Dogwood Hill Homestead. My name is Anthony and I'm out of here today to talk about my favorite subject, tools. We're going to talk about, well, it was supposed to be 10, but I'm going to be honest, I couldn't narrow it down, so I think it's going to be 12 or 13. Essential tools for the homestead. Now, I'm sure I'm probably going to leave some things out, and if I do, put those down in the comments, what you would have included in your list. So I've broken this down into 3 different sections: gardening, DIY, and animal husbandry. A lot of these tools intersect and move between different categories. A lot of the tools that we use dealing with our animals, we also use in our garden, and vice versa. So all these things interconnect. Let's get started with the essential tools we use in our garden. The first essential tools that I want to talk about that we use in our garden, probably the most, as you can tell by the fact that they're very dirty, are hoes. This hoe is a little bit different, and the fact that it has a curved blade instead of straight, and that it has sharpened sides. It's kind of a different shape, but it works really good. This is called a scuttle hoe or a stirrup hoe. There's lots of different names for it, but it is used to cut weeds off below the ground. It works really good. It's not totally essential. If you have a regular hoe, it will do the job, but we're talking about hoes. I thought I would show you this one. The next tool that I would say is pretty much essential is this garden fork. We use this garden fork for everything from moving hay around to turning our compost to digging up sweet potatoes. We use it for a lot of things. Mainly right now its use is turning our compost pile. But this is a handy little tool. And it's called a garden fork, not a pitchfork. It's the difference. Third essential tool in the garden is a pocket knife. Now, a pocket knife is an essential tool for the homesteader in just about everything. There's 100 little jobs that you need a pocket knife for, from cutting hay twine to pruning plants to picking vegetables. But we're talking about the garden. I want to talk about especially cheap knives. The knives that I use in the garden are not my good pocket knives. My good pocket knives stay in my pocket. But we use these inexpensive Walmart special, dollar store special pocket knives in the garden, because if they get ruined from picking vegetables, it's not that big of a deal. And we have these little things scattered all over. There's 4 or 5 in my workshop. There's at least 1 in our hay storage area, and I think there's actually 1 up above the goat barn in a little cubby hole that we keep in there for cutting hay string. We have them everywhere. There's 1 in the tractor. Another essential tool, at least essential to us in the style of gardening that we do, is a tiller. This is our Cub Cadet rear tine tiller. She's a beast. She's been repowered with a Predator engine, and this is the tiller that we use to cultivate in between the rows. And when we're putting our garden in the spring, let me show you what we use for that. This is our 4-foot Better Agro 3-point PTO tiller. This thing will make the prettiest bed you've ever seen. Now, is it essential? Do you have to have it? Could you get by with just a regular tiller? Absolutely. But now that I've had one, it's essential. Now this hooks up to what I'm about to show you next. This thing of beauty is our Yanmar YM2000 diesel tractor. Has 20 horsepower at the rear PTO. I love this thing. Is it essential? Absolutely not. We survived 20 years without this thing. It's not essential, but it's going in the video anyway. All right, moving on to the DIY section. And I think if I had to choose one tool for our DIY that's probably the most essential, it's probably this right here. This is an impact driver. As you can see, this thing has been used and abused. It's called an impact driver because it has a little hammer in here that actually impacts as it drives, and so it really puts the screws in fast. Can you get by with a regular drill? Yes, you can. But for what we do, is mostly installing screws, this is a lifesaver, and this is the way to go. Next essential tool in the DIY category I want to talk about is our propane torch. I just bought this a few months ago and I don't know how I survived 54 years without one before. We found that we use this thing several times a week. My wife uses this to light fires. I use it to light my grill. I use it on our tiller when we had to remove the wheel and it was frozen. The wheel was frozen to the shaft. I use this to get it off. This thing comes in handy, and for about $25 to $30, get you one of these. You'll be glad you did. The next DIY essential tool that I want to show you inside my shop. So this is a compound miter saw. It is a Metabo HPT, and this thing has come in so handy for a lot of the things that we build, a lot of the projects that we built. We use this when we built our goat barn. We've used it with everything we built, from our coil pens to our chicken tractors to our mobile egg mobile. This thing is used on just about every DIY project that we do. Is it absolutely essential? No, of course not. You can use a handsaw. But once you have one of these, you'll see it's pretty essential. It's pretty important to have. Essential tool on our DIY lineup is this chainsaw. So this chainsaw is also an essential homesteading tool, especially if you heat with wood. You can cut your own wood, save a lot of money, keep from having to buy wood. It also comes in handy keeping trees from getting overgrown, cutting down trees that are in bad locations, clearing new sections of land. Absolutely essential for the homesteader. This one is cordless. It is my DeWalt FlexVolt 16-inch bar cordless chainsaw, and I love it. So moving on to the animal husbandry portion of this list. First thing on the list is a wagon. Our tractor does not have a front end loader. If we had a front end loader, we may not need this wagon, but this wagon has come in so handy for so many different things. We use it to carry feed in, we use it to move hay, we use it to mix dirt and soil, we use it to clean out the chicken coop, clean out the coil cages. It has so many uses on the farm, and we use it every single day. The next item in the animal husbandry section is this. This is a T-post driver. If you've ever driven a T-post with a hammer or sledge, you'll know why these are essential. This is simply a weighted pipe with a hollow end, with an open end and a closed end with a section here that is weighted, so that you raise it up, put it over top of the T-post and drop it down, and it drives it. The weight of the driver actually drives the post into the ground. The next tool that I want to show you is actually a group of tools, because I'm indecisive and I couldn't decide which of these three things I wanted to include in the video. So because it's my video, I'm going to include all three. Brings us up to, I don't know, 14, 15. But that is our feed storage, our tough stuff feed and seed containers. These things are built to last. I don't know what material they're made out of, but it's very thick. We've not had any problems with any kind of pest chewing through this like they will a simple trash can. This is just I mean, it is the way to go. It locks. It has a double locking system. First of all, you have your lid that has locking tabs that goes on twist, and then it has these locking clasps here. And I don't care how hard you try, you will not get this lid off with these locking tabs on. You can get it up about that far to get your hand in. That is about it. Very, very secure, very sturdy, keeps the feed nice and clean and dry. The other two items that kind of go along with that, this is the first one, and this is a Fortiflex bucket. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Fortiflex. These things are absolutely indestructible. You buy them once and you will never have to buy another bucket unless you lose it. I don't know what they're made out of, but it's stronger than titanium. These things have been thrown around the farm, they've been kicked around, they've been everything you can imagine. And the next one is this little scoop here, and there's nothing special about this brand of scoop, but it's just this style of scoop we love because it just makes it so easy to reach in, get a scoop of feed, easy to measure out. Can you use a coffee can? Yes, but these little scoops are absolutely perfect, and in our opinion, they're essential. This one even comes with a little measuring guide. So guys, I know this video's gotten a little off track here, and you're probably saying that he's just using this as excuse to show off his tools, and that may or may not be true. But it's hard to nail down your 10 top favorite tools. It's just hard. It's like picking between your children. I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're thinking, this guy, you know, he's got all these nice tools, this nice tractor, you know. Listen, we're using the term essential with a grain of salt here. You can homestead with your 2 hands. You don't have to have a tractor. You don't have to have a tiller. You don't have to have any of this stuff. They're simply tools to make the job easier. So don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you can't homestead without these things. I'm just trying to show you some tools that make the job a little bit easier. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope something here today has inspired you to get out there and grow your own food, raise your own food, get better connected with the food that you eat. I'll see you on the next one, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.